I'm Governor Larry Hogan. Our state is taking unprecedented and aggressive actions in the fight to stop the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic here in Maryland. As you know, I recently issued a stay-at-home directive to ensure that no Marylander leaves his or her home unless it is for an essential job or for an essential purpose. I know how difficult this is on each and every one of you. There's a great deal of fear and anxiety, and the truth is that none of us really know how bad this is going to get or how long it's going to last. But I can promise you that there are a great many dedicated people doing tremendous things, working around the clock, and doing their very best to help keep Marylanders safe. In the days to come, we're going to need to depend on each other, to look out for one another, and to take care of each other, because we are all in this together, and we will get through this together.
This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, May 22nd, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. This is kind of a bummer, but the City of Annapolis has canceled the city-sponsored events for the Independence Day holiday this July 4th. In a media call yesterday morning, City spokesman Mitchell Stevenson said that the annual parade, the concert, and the fireworks would not be held this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This comes on the heels of Baltimore City Mayor Jack Young making the announcement that all public events were canceled through August 31st. And we did ask County Health Officer Dr. Nilesh Kalanamaran about whether there was a thought to canceling all events in Anne Arundel County, and he referred back to the prohibition of any groups larger than 10. Yesterday, Governor Larry Hogan and CVS together announced that CVS will be having 17 new COVID-19 test sites at select CVS pharmacy drive-thru locations across Maryland. This just comes 2 days after Hogan signed an emergency order authorizing the state's 1,200 pharmacies to order and administer COVID-19 tests, and it is a self-administered test. Patients must register in advance at cvs.com. That begins today. You schedule an appointment. You will stay in your car at the drive-thru. They're going to give you a test kit. They will observe you doing it to make sure you're doing it correctly, and then they will be sending the test to an independent third-party lab. Results come back in about 3 days for your COVID test. Locally here in Anne Arundel County, the CVS at 2600 Annapolis Road in Severn and the CVS at 157 Ritchie Highway in Severna Park are the two closest to us that would be able to do that for you. Yesterday morning, Baltimore County Executive Johnny Olszewski announced that retail stores in the county would be allowed to open this morning. Starting at 9 a.m. this morning, any business covered under Governor Larry Hogan's Phase 1 reopening plan can reopen, but he limited it to 10 people, including staff, inside. Of those 10 people, they all must wear face masks and adhere to proper social distancing rules, and barbershops and hair salons will also be allowed to open up. They are also limited to 10 people inside, including staff, and they must be by appointment only. Other personal services such as nail salons, massage parlors, tattoo shops, and tanning salons still remain closed in Baltimore County. So it looks like Baltimore County is easing up on their restrictions just a few days after they put them in. Hopefully Anne Arundel County will follow suit pretty soon, but I'm not so sure about that. Also in yesterday's media call, County Executive Pittman said that he had received some threats regarding the closure of the economy and not reopening the stores, and the Anne Arundel County Police have increased some protection around the county executive. Pittman did say that most of the threats were coming from closed social media groups such as the Reopen Anne Arundel County Facebook page. He did say there is no place for violence in this discussion, and we wholeheartedly agree. If you're traveling out on West Street near the Michael E. Bush Library, you're going to see something new hanging over the road. It is called a HAWK beacon. HAWK stands for High Intensity Activated Crosswalk because the state likes all sorts of acronyms. And it also kind of looks like a hawk because it has two red lights up on top and one yellow light in the middle. So it's sort of an inverted triangle. This is a pedestrian crossing signal on West Street to allow people to get across West Street going into the library. Unlike a standard traffic signal, it remains off until a pedestrian activates it with the button. When activated, the beacon will flash yellow, that's the one on the bottom, then change to a steady yellow, followed by steady red lights, which are up on top. When the steady red lights are on, the drivers must stop. Pedestrians will get a walk indication. Then the steady red lights will turn into a flashing red lights, and that means that drivers can go as long as there is no pedestrian in the crosswalk. My bet is that's going to confuse an awful lot of people. Hey, remember the Annapolis Film Festival at the end of March? They were supposed to have an opening night film called Military Wives. The film festival didn't happen, and Military Wives actually was not able to be screened online just because of some licensing things, but it is now. The Annapolis Film Festival announced that they have partnered with Bleecker Street and their community cinema program to bring Military Wives to us here. In a statement released by the film festival, they said, yes, due to COVID-19 coronavirus, we were forced to bring the festival to everyone virtually. As one of the first festivals in the U.S. to go virtual, there were a lot of decisions being made by distributors during the quarantine lockdown that were not decided within 9 days before the 2020 film festival went virtual. We are so pleased that Bleecker Street is allowing us to share it with our audience now in this way. The film itself centers on a group of British wives who are at home while their husbands are away at war in Afghanistan. As their husbands serve abroad, the anxious, mismatched women harmonize together in another comfortable British comedy that sings a familiar but uplifting refrain. This does star Kristen Scott Thomas and Sharon Hogan. It is directed by Peter Cataneo, who was the director of The Full Monty, so it'll be a pretty fun movie to see. The cost is $4.99. You can stream it all this weekend or actually beyond that. All the details and the links, you can get them at the Annapolis Film Festival Facebook page. And finally, as we wrap it up, if you're like me and working from home, you may actually be working longer and harder than before the pandemic. So this Memorial Day weekend, I am not going to do anything. Instead, I'm going to take the weekend off, and I encourage you to do it as well. Taking the weekend off isn't the same as sitting at home and doing nothing. I'm taking the weekend off from CNN, off from Twitter, off from social media, off from suggestions to inject bleach, from being scared and worried all the time. I'm putting down my phone and taking a walk outside. I'll be putting together a bookcase for my office while listening to some 1980s tunes and eating food and drinks that I probably shouldn't. Don't judge. I'm taking the weekend off from our current reality. No regrets, no fear, and I encourage you to do the same thing. Do it for you, do it for the people who love you, and do it for a brighter future. Take the weekend off. Just do it. And a brief programming note, it is Memorial Day. It is a long weekend. Please make sure you honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice to our country on Monday. We will be taking the day off. We will see you here on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. All right, that does wrap it up for today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day for updates on these stories and more throughout the day. If you are someplace you can give us a rating or a review, please do that as well. And let your friends, family, and colleagues know how to get a podcast and how to subscribe to this one. Other than that, hang tight. We've got George Young with your local DMV weather forecast. He's coming up in just 1 minute after this brief message from Rick Peters from Solar Energy Services.
Hello, Marylanders. This is Rick Peters from Solar Energy Services in Millersville, Maryland, wishing you good health and a rapid return to prosperity. Uncertainty is one of the hardest parts of our current situation. As we move towards our new normal, you may want to consider adding more certainty to your financial future by locking in the low cost of clean solar energy. The economics of solar are tremendous, and there's no better source than the trusted team at Solar Energy Services. Residential solar projects typically earn the homeowner 8 to 12% annually over the life of the system, with even better returns for commercial systems. If you have some downtime now, take advantage of our powerful remote design capabilities, allowing one of our experienced solar designers to provide a presentation, followed by a detailed, accurate proposal, all from a safe distance. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. Sunshine's are wasted, but together we'll get through this.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, May 22nd. It was another April-like day yesterday with below-average temps and a mix of sun and clouds across the Annapolis region. And while today will be around normal temp-wise with highs in the 70s, it will also be a gray and wet day as low pressure moves by to the southeast of the region, potentially bringing 1 inch or more of rain to some spots on the map, especially where a few thunderstorms might occur. And this rain and storm threat may last into a portion of Saturday as well, with temps in the 76 to 82 degree range for highs to start the weekend, with a mixture of sun and clouds in 70s for Sunday. And as of today, Memorial Day Monday looks to be a nice one, with temps in the 70s and a fair amount of sunshine across all of Anne Arundel County. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there. Do all you can to stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching DC MDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Store. And also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and use our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
This is Wes Adams, candidate for Circuit Court Judge. As your former state's attorney, I built a reputation for being fair for our community, tough on violent crime, and compassionate to those in need. I work to set up specialized court proceedings designed to support recovery and to get our vets out of the criminal justice system. I partnered with our schools to help protect students and break the school-to-prison pipeline. I will bring these same values as judge to the Circuit Court. I respectfully ask that you vote for me, Wes Adams, on June 2nd.
Paid for by the Friends of Wes Adams. John Spencer, Treasurer.
Whether it's a fire, a hurricane, or a virus, Annapolis comes together. We've done it time and time again, because this is a town that gets it, a town that knows how to lift each other up when the world falls down. As we face this new challenge, I encourage our community to come together as we've always done. I'm Steve Samaras from Zachary's Jewelers. I pledge to lend a hand to support my family, my team, my neighbors, and the small businesses in our town. Together, let's do what we've always done.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.